Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome and thank you for joining us here online as we announce the next big steps for Read City USA. Learning to read well, especially at a young age, is one of the most important building blocks in creating a solid foundation for school and life. Our schools do an excellent job of teaching reading, but they can't do it alone. They need our help to make reading a priority in our community and among the families who live here. With that in mind, a couple of years ago, we started Read City USA with the intention of becoming the best read community in the country. Now, that's no small feat. To help us on this journey, each year we set a community reading goal, one that will help us stretch and meet new horizons, but frankly, goals which are a little intimidating at first. However, as the saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Last year, we established a challenging goal for Read City. We set out to read the equivalent of traveling around the world 20 times by reading 500,000 hours as a community. Seemed like a whole lot. It was a whole lot, but we were all up to the challenge. I am very proud to say that we not only met our goal, but we exceeded it by 136,000 hours. That's a fantastic job to Knox County. To get there, we worked with the libraries, public schools, private schools, daycares, senior centers, and individual citizens. More than 6,000 groups and individual readers set up accounts in our Beanstack Tracker app to log their hours. Many people reported their hours to the library who logged the hours for them. And even in this strange year, we handed out 35,000 badges for reaching monthly reading goals. Also in the 2020 challenge, we were fortunate and grateful to have partners like the Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Clinic, Denart Construction, Friends of the Library, Hyatt Magical Vacations, Knox County Schools Partners in Education, Mobile Beats Entertainment, Outpatient Diagnostic, Stowers Cat, and Zach Ballinger. Together, they made it possible for us to provide one $2,020 gift certificate to 3 different schools. First Lutheran, Gap Creek Elementary, and Mount Olive Elementary. Thanks to the generosity of our partners, each of these schools received a check for $2,020 to promote literacy programming at their schools. We can't wait to see these projects come to life. Now on to why we are here today. We are not resting on our laurels. We're announcing a new reading goal for 2021. This year, we're challenging our community to double last year's reading goal. That's right. We're challenging all Knox County citizens to join us on what we are calling the Million Hour Expedition to make Knox County the best read community in America by reading and logging 1 million hours together. 1 million is a lot of anything, but we can do it. We can read 1 million hours. To kick off this effort, we have put together a fun music video thanks to Sean McCulloch, who wrote and performed the song for us, and our own Jim Atheny, who brought it to life on your screen. You might recognize some of the folks in this video, plus it's a catchy tune, so feel free to sing along. After the video, we'll show how to sign up for the Million Hour Reading Expedition.
I was sitting at home with nowhere to roam, looking for something to do. In need of adventure, indentured to boredom, and feeling a little bit blue. My mama said, look, you should pick up a book. You're sure to find something to suit ya. Maybe a story of pirates who sail the seas, or of people who live in the future. Or if you like animals, I've got a few tales to tickle your fancy. She handed me one that had stories about a spider that they call a Nancy. There are tales and claws and scales, and animals gone off the proverbial rails. Books full of facts, and books full of fiction, and books full of fantasy. And if your shelves, they get bare, and I don't mean a bear with hair, I mean they get empty, I think you'll agree you should listen to me and head on down to your library, your library. became closest of friends. Their differences just didn't matter. And Alice, she had an adventure that led her to tea with a hare and a hatter. And Curious George was named Curious George for his inquisitive nature. And Peter the Rabbit, he had a bad habit of stealing from Mr. McGregor. Don't let the pigeon drive that bus, I think that he'll listen to you. And if you give a moose a muffin, he'll probably end up wanting a little jam too. Tigger loved bouncing and pouncing with Roo, and hanging with his good friend Winnie the Pooh. And given a chance, even giraffes that can't dance will show you just what they can do. There are tales and claws and scales, and animals gone off the proverbial rails. Books full of facts, and books full of fiction, and books full of fantasy. And if your shelves they get bare, and I don't mean a bear with hair, I mean they get empty, I think you'll agree you should listen to me and head on down to your library. Your library. Your library. Read, 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 read. What's your favorite book? Your library. Read, 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 read. What's your favorite book? Your library. What's your favorite book? Your library. Your library.
Well, that was awesome. And it also goes to show you that giraffes really can't dance. But I hope this song and video gets us excited about the year ahead. We have lots of other things to get you excited and to keep you on track. We want you to log your hours, but we also want to make it easy for you. So there are several ways you can do this. First, you can use the Beanstack Tracker app, which you will find in your smartphone's app store. You will need a Knox County Public Library card to set up a Beanstack Tracker account, but it's really simple, and you can even set up your family all under your account if you want. Once you've set up your account, choose the Tails and Tales Challenge to get started, start logging. If you're not an app person, you can log your hours on paper and turn your logins to the library. They'll add your hours up for you. Whether you like to log online or on paper, you will want to pick up this free field guide at the library. It's animal-packed, it has animal-themed activities and tips to keep you going. For every 10 hours of reading, you'll earn a fun sticker and a free skating session at the Chain Center. So to break it down, 10 hours equals just 20 minutes of reading every day for a month. While you're tracking individual hours, we're tracking the combined hours of the whole community. These guys, those giraffes that can't dance, are hanging out in libraries all over the county, and every hour we read will help them earn their spots. But it's going to take all of us, but we can do it. I want to be very clear, this is more than just fun. We all love a good story, but the fact is, we all need to be able to read and read well. In this day and age, our workforce depends on improved reading skills. To thrive as individuals and to thrive as a community, we need to support our schools to make reading a priority. This is just one step, but hopefully it will send a message that we care very deeply about this subject. Thank you for joining us today to talk about the 2021 challenge. I'll now open the floor up to questions. If you'll type your question in the chat box, our Deputy Communications Director, Abby Harris, will read them, and we will get them answered for you. Yeah.
Okay, if you'll go ahead and type any questions you have in the chat box, we'll wait just a few minutes for any to be put in. Mayor, can you hold up the field guide?
There's a field guide, and then you can also use these cool bookmarks to log your reading hours to take to the library. So, and then the field guide has got, it's really, really well done, and has really lots of cool stuff in it and activities that you can do. So again, you can just go to your library and pick one of these up.
Okay, Mayor, can you tell us a little bit about why Read City USA started? I know we've done it for a couple years, but maybe give a quick recap on
Sure,
why
sure.
you decided to do it.
Our country faces literacy challenge. When we look at third grade literacy rates, across the state of Tennessee, only about a third of our third graders can read at grade level. The reason that's so important is because third grade is when you go from learning to read to reading to learn. And everything you do throughout your academic career, really throughout your life, so much of it is based around being able to read and to read well. So not only as individuals is it important to our school children, but it's also important to our community, because in order to have a world-class workforce, be able to attract great companies, we have to have a world-class workforce, which is dependent on a well-educated workforce. And reading is the foundation for all of that. So it's not only important to the success of our young people that they be able to read well and at an early age, but it's important to the success of our community.
Okay, and then just maybe reiterate again why the 1 million hours.
We started off 2 years ago with a 250,000 hour challenge. And what we've done is we go different places and equate 1 hour of reading with 1 mile. So we started with 250,000 hour challenge of going different places around the world. Last year, we upped that to 500,000 hours. The Earth is 25,000 miles in diameter, so 20 times around the Earth is 500,000 miles, hence 500,000 hours. And we thought it was just a natural progression to make the goal this year very challenging, one that we have to stretch to reach, which is 1 million miles. The theme for this year is, of course, Tales and Tales. So it's an expedition where you go all around the world, learn about different animals, different ecosystems. And the great thing about that, and I think last year's challenge, and actually all of the challenges, is you have the reading component of it, which of course is very important and the focus, but then you also along the way, like last year, went to different countries, so you learn about different cultures. This year, you're going to learn about different animals and different places around the world, different places that animals live, different ecosystems and all that sort of thing. So it makes it not only is it important that the reading hours are logged, but also that you're learning along the way. And part of the idea with doing this as a community and having goals is that gives us people something to be motivated about, something to look forward to along the way. Of course, we do have other activities, badges, and those sort of things that individuals can earn. So the whole idea is to make this community effort and to have these goals that make us stretch and hopefully remind everybody to read 20 minutes every day.
Okay, and then you mentioned the awards from our sponsors. Do we have any of our principals on who want to talk a little bit about their literacy programming they're going to do with that award?
Yes, we actually have two on, Michelle Harper from Mount Olive and Tiffany Watkins from Gap Creek Elementary School. So if you guys wouldn't mind, maybe Michelle, if you wouldn't mind going first and tell us about the project that earned you the $2,020 award.
Right. Good morning, everyone. First of all, we want to thank you and hello from Mount Olive. And we want to tell you how grateful we are and thrilled to be a recipient of that gift. And what we plan to do at Mount Olive is participate in the One School, One Book program. And that is where the entire student population plus teachers have agreed to participate and read the same book together. So all of the students at Mount Olive and all of the teachers will be reading this year, The Lemonade War. And that's to go along with our theme, making lemonade out of lemons. And we think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for our students and staff to be able to talk about characters and settings and problems and solutions together. It just unites us as a community. And it also gives us that opportunity to express our love for reading. And it's just going to be a wonderful way to bring us all together this year.
Awesome. Tiffany, are you on?
Hello there.
Hey.
Hi. I was on earlier. I was watching it with our school's watching it through YouTube. So we're excited. We are planning to build some outside nooks, reading nooks. Due to COVID, you know, we wanted our kids to have a chance to learn outside the walls. And, you know, it's just good to be able to go outside and read. And so we don't have any areas where a lot of our students can do that outside around the building. So we're going to purchase some tables to go into our courtyard and some benches, along with books that teachers can tote. We're going to provide books for our classrooms, and they can tote those books in and out. For all of our kids, sometimes we focus on a lot of great picture books for our older kids, but we also want to make sure we have those chapter books available too for all of our students. So those funds will help with that. So we really appreciate everything. We thank you all, and we're excited.
Great. And not only with the winning schools, but also with all the schools who participated, there were some really great projects that were put forth. So I just want to thank you guys again for everything that you're doing. Not only participating in this program, but just everything that you all are doing.
Okay, and then lastly, was that really you in the giraffe costume at the end of the video?
Yes, it was really me. As I said, giraffes can't dance, and neither can I. So we proved it with the video. But I actually choreographed that myself, so I'm pretty proud of myself for that.
Okay, if there's any other questions that we want to ask, if you'll go ahead and put those in the chat box. Otherwise, we'll give you just a few minutes to put those in, and then we will end our press conference today. Okay, I think that does it for us today for our press conference. Mayor, unless there's anything else for you that you'd like to add, I think we will conclude our recording.
No, I'd just like to encourage everybody to please either download the Beanstack Tracker app on your smartphone or pick up the bookmarks, head to the library, get a field guide, and just please participate in the program, log your reading hours. It really helps, and it really does make a difference. And thank you all for being here today.